Hey, we have a great show on the Edge today. We're privileged to have Two Chicks and a Hammer, a local company, seeing some great visibility on HGTV's Good Bones. And we're also hitting it out of the park with the Indianapolis Indians, Director of Communications, all today on Edge of Indy.
Your audio and video source featuring Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. This is Edge of Indy. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Let's get today's conversation started.
Okay, hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Edge of Indy. Did you miss me? I wasn't here last week. I don't think anybody missed me. I think it went very, very well. Unfortunately. Or fortunately, hey, Brittany, thank you so much for covering for us for me whenever I was absent.
Yes, sir. Happy to do it.
It was a fantastic show. If you missed Edge of Indy, shame on you. I mean, truly, shame on you, right?
Shame.
Edge of Indy is all about focusing on Indianapolis entrepreneurs, innovators, marketing new ideas, new trends. We focus on great business growth, creative agencies, the tech scene, modern culture here in Indianapolis. And it's about what's happening in the world of business and charity in Indianapolis. So we focus on this weekly. So check it out and plan for this show because we're really trying to give you some great movers and shakers here in Indianapolis. And it's all about choosing local. That's what we're here about at Edge of Indy. So I wanted to introduce you to Mina Starsiak. Yep, see, you did it. You made me
It's
do
okay. I get Mina, Tina, Mimi. I'll answer to all of them, but it's Mina.
It's Mina Starsiak-Hawk, daughter of the mother-daughter duo behind HGTV's Good Bones and local company at Two Chicks and a Hammer. Hammer. Thanks for coming on board.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for having
It's
me.
live. Hey.
It's a new business idea. Two chicks
And a hamper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that could be something,
It
right?
could work. Cleaning service, something like that.
You and me.
Yeah. You asked my husband and probably we'd go out of business. I'm not the cleaner in the family. Bless his heart. We got a Roomba for our wedding. Saved my life.
This is spinning out of control very, very quickly. You realize
Like a Roomba.
Bring it
Like a
back
Roomba.
in.
Those things are scary.
Ours did go over the poo once. All
Really?
those horror stories happened
Oh,
twice.
my
Actually
gosh.
happened twice.
The cat tried to jump on ours
my.
and was moving around.
But all in all, worth it. Back to whatever you wanted to talk about.
Hi, Mina. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Very good, very good. Well, hey, you began rehabbing houses in your neighborhood in Fountain Square back in 2007. That's a lot, way before a lot of people got into the whole rehab and flipping concept, right? Can you tell us how you started in home renovation and what inspired you to create Two Chicks and a Hammer?
2007, I graduated from IU. I'm a
Woot,
Hoosier.
woot.
There you go.
And all my friends went to Cali School of Business and had these big jobs lined up. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was waiting tables and I wanted to do something grown up. Again, waiting tables. So I got my mom to co-sign on a house for me because she's a lawyer. She has a nice, steady paycheck. So we actually
There
bought
you
a
go.
house at 23rd in Carrollton. Right around the same time she was looking for a home office close to downtown. So I bought my house there when she bought a little 2-bedroom in Fountain Square for her home office. And we just fixed them up together because mainly neither of us had the money to pay someone else to do it. And we
Right.
thought it'd be fun. And it was a blast. We had a couple injuries, but nothing serious. And we learned a lot.
Show us your
And-
hands. All 10 fingers.
Oh, all 10 fingers, but so many scars. They're bad. They're worse than my husband's or any of my brothers. But
And,
yeah.
and you laud that over them, don't you?
Yes.
I bet you
like
do.
these are working hands. Do you see these knuckles? They're huge.
Very funny.
So we both renovated our houses and kind of because where her office was, we fell in love with Fountain Square and
Yeah.
bought a little house and fixed it up and then just did a couple. And I think it was probably late 2008 that we decided, I kind of, again, wanting to be a grown-up, said, well, we need a company and we need a name and let's get business cards and T-shirts and checks. And so
All
it's
the swag.
dress for the job you want.
Yep.
That's what I did with the business. And then we just kind of baby stepped it up from there.
That's fantastic. Now, you don't flip houses.
No. And if Mom was here, she would give you the lecture. You're lucky she's not here because There's
And,
lots.
and we do want to shame Mama Karen publicly here. She didn't show up, and we take it personally. Right?
Mother. Thanks a lot, Mother.
So, but the reason our business works is we're kind of, I'm the business end and she's like, the neighborhood, love, let's make the world a better place. And then I make sure we don't lose our tails doing it.
Right.
And so I think there's probably lots of different models that fall under this flipping umbrella.
Right.
But there's a couple that don't really have the best connotation where it's fast buck, you don't really do anything, you don't
It's
fix the
slick,
things
yeah.
that are, it's kind of like whatever we can do for the quickest dollar.
Yeah.
And we frequently make very little money. We did a 6-month project where we made $3,000, and that's split between two of us, so it's $1,500 a pop.
Huh.
But they're all in our neighborhood, so sometimes you have a loss leader like that to make the rest of the block better. So that's kind of what our business is about. It's more bringing the neighborhood back to life, and we both live in Fountain Square next door to each other, and we've renovated a bunch of houses there, and we're in Bates Hendricks and Old South Side, and are just kind of
It's a
staying
great
in our
area.
little spot.
It's a great area, and kudos to you to invest in that neighborhood because, I mean, it's a fantastic culture there. And I actually grew up in my teens and early 20s down here, real close to the studio here down on Talbot Street and Delaware.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you
It's
guys
like
get to go to the folk
prodigal son's coming
festival?
back. Huh?
Did you guys get to go to the folk festival on Saturday?
No,
The
no.
Virginia Avenue Folk Festival was incredible.
Really?
And I was like, and I live a block off of Virginia Avenue in Fountain Square, and I was like, this is why people come. I mean, 13 stages, all the bands, all the vendors. It was so cool.
Wow, we got to get the word out for that more often, right?
Yeah, it was
sounds fun.
very cool.
So it's great to be able to see this type of just investment and care into different neighborhoods, right? And that's what you're talking about. So that's what renovation is, as opposed to flipping.
Yeah.
And we've seen the shows, and there's been an entire culture around that flip and that easy money, but it's
not easy. Even if you are doing it the easy way, it's still
Right.
probably not easy.
Still probably tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. You working with your mom, I want to explore that because it's not often that happens.
It's also not easy.
It's not easy, and she's not here. So are you mad at each other? Or
I mean,
what's the haps?
it's 50-50.
You're not talking to each other right now, are you?
It's 50-50 whether we are, whether we aren't. But it definitely is challenging. I mean, we started the business together, and as any mother-daughter relationship or family dynamic, it can definitely be tricky, especially we live next door to each other. We work together. We're in the office together all day. It's a lot of togetherness, and
It really
sometimes
is.
we manage it better than others. But I mean, all in all, we've had one other business partner that wasn't a family member, and I don't think with all the stuff that comes along, like on the not so good side with family partnership, I'd probably take that any day of the week over a non-family one because
Right.
blood is blood, whether you
And
want it to be or
they're-
not sometimes.
They're motivated and they're invested, and you can trust their work
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Makes-
trust is
Yeah.
incredible there. Yeah, but yeah, it comes with this uniqueness, and it's
Yes.
part of the Good Bones show, right? And that's where HGTV came in. So tell us, what was that like?
It was. I actually thought we were like getting pranked. I thought it was a trick
Huh.
because I think a lot of the shows get created through some casting series or like people see it coming.
Right.
And I got a phone call from some random gal asking a bunch of business questions, and I called my lawyer, which is my mom. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Your
So he's
mom's your
ask-
lawyer as well?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Well,
you
yeah, we
said
have
that.
in-house
Wow.
counsel. But asking all these business questions, and it was actually a talent scout who had completely by accident stumbled upon our Facebook page.
Right.
Which was really, really, really tragic if you go back to 2007, 8, 9, because we didn't think anyone was ever going to see it.
Is there like
and-
a Wayback Machine for Facebook pages? There needs to be.
I don't know.
No, that would be scary.
Yeah. But
Keep on
found
going,
it
keep
and
on
thought it was cool and called, and we had a phone conversation once I figured out who she was.
Mm-hmm.
She was with High Noon. Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing?
I think your mother is actually channeling her energy into the studio. Keep on
Making
going.
things fly off the walls. That's terrifying. She could probably do that from wherever she is. She has that much power. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, Tina. So Tina, this gal called, and she works for High Noon, which makes Fixer Upper, and everyone loves Fixer Upper.
Got it.
So I was like, all right, these people are legit. We did a little Skype interview on my iPad, and then they sent us a flip camera, just like a little $50 flip cam, and said, film what you do for a week, 2 weeks,
Huh.
send it back to us. And we did that, and they took the camera footage and the Skype interview, which I didn't know was being recorded at the time, and I drank a whole bottle of wine during it. And then Facebook pictures and Twitter pictures, and put them into this little 6-minute sizzle reel that they pitched to HGTV.
Right.
And apparently they liked it.
It
enough.
worked.
It worked.
The wine helped.
Apparently I'm more charming, a little friendlier with some wine. And yeah, we made our pilot, and they aired that, and it got picked up, and they said, but don't expect anything. And then we got our first season, and it aired, and they said, don't expect anything. And our second season is airing 2 weeks. What day is today? Wednesday or Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Days, I don't know the days. 2 weeks from yesterday. So
very cool.
it's very
cool.
exciting.
Well, you certainly have a lot of fans on the Facebook channel right now chiming in. They love the season.
Awesome.
They're counting down. Actually, only 13 more days,
Yes.
says Angie.
Angie knows what day it is.
Yes, it's 13 more days. Thank
Fantastic.
you, Angie.
Well, regarding the show, I mean, how do you choose your houses? In the first season, you seem to get a lot of houses from the city, right?
Yeah, I would word it a little bit differently. We don't necessarily choose them; they kind of choose us.
Okay.
Most of the time, it seems we buy kind of what's left, like what no one else wants. It's like too much work. A lot of them are from the city that were on the demo list or have just been abandoned for 10 plus years,
Right.
and have half a roof or have a foundation or both. Because it's in our neighborhood. As long as it's in our neighborhood and we can afford it, we'll buy it sight unseen. And we probably buy, I'd say 6 out of 10 properties without eyeing them first.
Is that scary to do?
That's a
It
little
used
bit
to
of risk
be.
right there, yeah.
It used to be. Now I think I've just gotten used to that part of the risk because all the numbers are kind of floating around. It's scary up here. You don't want to be in there. But if I know the location, I know about what we'll need to put into it based on the square footage and kind of what we could sell it for. So
Well, you've been doing it for such a long time. It's now
Yeah.
you're almost like this native, and you can actually understand and start calculating as you're looking at it all.
My my husband's sister started working for us in the office, and bless her sweetheart. You just say things. It's like this shorthand language, and she's been working for us for months now. She's actually getting her real estate license. She's killing it. But she made this whole, I don't know, it's like 30 pages, and it's titled, I think, like crap you'll hear them say at the office. And it's all this vocabulary, a lot of it construction, a lot of it not construction. But I mean, everything that she's heard us say over the last however many months that she was like, I'm going to not ask, but I'm going to Google it and then add it to this document.
So this is a 2 chicks and a hammer glossary.
Yes, it is.
And
so anyone
thesaurus.
new that comes in, she has this for them, so they don't have to struggle quite as hard as she
Before
did.
you ask any questions.
Well,
here.
and you figure the mother-daughter code, there has to be so many codes between the two of you that she must have cracked. She's cracked all of them.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting environment. It's a home office, and we're dog friendly. So at any given time, there's like 6 to 8 dogs.
Oh, fantastic.
And my other sister-in-law, I call her my sister-in-law, my brother's wife's sister. We don't know what that makes her.
Miscellaneous, but go on.
She runs the company now. She's our COO, and she sits next to me. And in a sentence where usually most people would use 10 words, we say 3 and know what we're both talking about. And anyone else is like, what? What did you? I don't even know.
It's kind of like twins.
But it works for us. It works for us.
Get
So
that kind of twin speak. but it's my mother and daughter. Well, we had a question from one of our staff members. Tom's wife wants to know
where you get your shirts.
Yeah.
Most of them are from the shop.
shop?
Yeah, love the shop. Because of the show, you're not allowed to show anything that's like logoed, Adidas, Nikes, Colts. So I get to have some Indy pride with local stuff.
Yep.
And then some of them are Mama Said tees. So like the Human and Addicted to Kindness and Caffeine, like the kind of more whimsical ones. But and then I have this one's Pup, the 317.
Cool.
Shout outs to all of those.
Absolutely.
It's one of the biggest questions we got when the show aired. Like, where'd you get all these different ones? I'll post it online. I don't know.
Okay, so I got to ask, what's the worst problem you've encountered the first time walking into a home?
I feel like there's always a new one. We just did some walkthroughs of what will be season 3 houses to check them out. And one of them was actually hit by a car and pushed off its foundation a bit. That was a new one.
The house was?
The house was hit by a car and pushed off its foundation a bit.
Oh, my Lord.
It's not really standing up very well anymore, and it's about this far from the house next to it.
What do you do with that?
We're going to carefully take it apart, fix the foundation, and then put it back together.
Oh, my gosh.
But I think the worst one that you'll see when season 2 airs is it was a house we bought from the city. And we walked down to the basement, and there are always these rickety, half-broken ladder staircases, and you can only walk about halfway down. And when you get halfway down, 15 feet in any direction, it looks like you're standing in the middle of a 30-foot wide well, which Mom will describe to you. I'm sure she did to me on the show. It's actually a cistern. Looks like a giant well, full of 4 feet of water, and had the most disgusting smell and things floating in it. And we had to figure out a way to drain it to know what was even going on. And it was like bodysuits, and it was not pleasant.
That does not sound
that'll be on season 2 of Good Bones.
Just another
tune in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to tune in for that, everybody.
Yeah.
So speaking of work, you work in what I would consider a male-dominated industry for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As 2 nice ladies, what is your
We're
experience?
not very nice.
I think you're nice. You're nice to me.
Nice enough? Okay.
You're nice to me, and that's all that counts. Working in the industry, have you ever had men get a little sideways with you, and you've had to get a little sassy back with them, or how do they usually receive you all in that space? And then what do you do?
Yeah, I think for a long time, just because of Mom and my personality, we weren't really aware of it. We just do what we're going to do anyways. And we have so many siblings and brother, we just head in the sands. But since the show, I've gotten asked that a lot, and I think I've just been more aware of it. And I think the biggest thing I've noticed is just being a female boss is hard. Because I could say something in the exact same tone that this dude says to you, but it just has a little bit of a perceived attitude when a girl says it. So that's been a bit of a struggle. Now that, I don't know if it was there before and I'm just now noticing, but most of our contractors are awesome. We've known them for a really long time. We have a really good working relationship, and there's no issues. But things come up where, you got to be like, no, I'm your boss. Did you get confused for a minute? Because I'm allowed to boss you around because I'm your boss, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
She's straightening some guys out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all the guys we work with are awesome. I mean, our office is mostly women all day long, except we've got our social media manager, Cole, and our project manager, Corey, and bless their sweet souls. They put up with so much and hear so much that they probably never wanted to hear. That's all girl talk, and do their jobs really well and entertain us in the meantime.
I know your 1-year wedding anniversary is coming up next month. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am about 60 days away from getting married myself.
Oh, that's
so
exciting.
We're in penny saving mode, but we're also always open to like renovations and fixing things. What are
Those
some?
don't seem like the same.
Well,
They don't mesh well.
well, they don't. But do you have any
Let's penny
recommendations?
save and let's go renovate.
Let's go renovate things
Yeah.
and change things. As far as recommendations for anyone looking to make changes in their homes without spending like $1 million, do you have any here are 3 things that you could start with? Or
I mean, nothing's super easy, even if people are going to pretend that is. But a couple things that are incredibly easy is your hardware. Changing out your hardware. Go to like Joann or Michael's, and the cabinet pulls they have are incredible. And just changing something like that out on your bathroom vanity, on your kitchen cabinets, and then something that's a little bit more difficult, painting your cabinets. It's not hard if you get the right product. Watch a couple YouTube videos on it.
Right.
But if you've got that old like medium oak that no one really is digging right now, get a nice clean coat of light gray or whatever you like. And the nice thing is, if you mess it up, you didn't like your cabinets anyways. So then you
no harm,
just
no
go
foul.
to the next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those 2 things.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, paint. Accent colors, painting your door, just fun things that kind of mix it up a little bit. That theoretically you can't really do much damage if you mess up.
Those cabinet pulls are cool because it's something that you're putting your personality into, and you're always reaching for. You're always there, and it's a connection for you.
I have big old crystal ones on my bathroom vanity. They're incredible and very girly.
You should look into those too.
I am uncomfortable with that statement. My name is Erin because of Ireland, not because of Joni and Chachi. I'm just saying. Hey, we love shouting out to local businesses. What are some of your favorites around town that, especially in home renovation, right? Even subcontractors, even restaurants. Can you give a shout out to a few in Indianapolis?
The list is so long. It's like when you leave someone out at the Grammys or
They
something.
won't be
and
mad
just
at us.
rattle
so
them off.
bad. And Habit Living has really cool stuff. Chatham Home is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our contractors are great. We work with Caliber Construction, Indy Innovative, A1.
Oh, cool.
Food places like everywhere in Fountain Square. Milktooth, Bluebeard, La Margarita.
What's the name of that barbecue place downtown? right there at the hub of Fountain Square. The smokehouse.
The smokehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're filming, we eat lunch like as a crew every day, so we get to eat there on occasion. It's the best perk of filming.
Do you need
a TV
someone else
show.
on your crew? He'll join. So
I
we
will take these
PAs.
cameras. You need to live cast everything. That's what you need to do.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, we filmed 10 months, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Promise you could make 6 different shows with that footage.
I bet.
mean, it's the days are so entertaining, and some of the funniest stuff, like we prank a lot, and some of it's not maybe quite PG enough, but yeah, we keep it fun.
I saw on your website that you all have some properties on Airbnb. Is that right?
We have one, yeah.
Tell us about that.
So we renovated a home in Bates Hendricks with a warehouse right next to it. So eventually we'll be opening up a storefront in the warehouse. But the home, we'd been operating out of my mom's 9x9 guest room as an office. And we renovated this house and decided that we just loved it so much we had to keep it, which we probably couldn't have afforded to do. We still can't.
That's one of the perks right there.
Right.
But upstairs was a small apartment that after we were done with the house, we then moved on to that and had been renovating that for the last, 5 months, and finally got it done. So we have a little, it's only 2 bedrooms, but it sleeps 8. It's 2 bedroom, 1 bath, Airbnb. And I think it's really cute.
Cool.
So
How can people find
if you want to stay,
it?
it's called The House That 2 Chicks Built on Airbnb. And it's right in Bates Hendricks. So it's, walking distance to Lucas Oil
Yeah.
and
Oh, wow.
Banker's Life and Fountain Square and all the cool stuff. And we've got Lincoln Lane Coffee right next door, which is awesome. So yeah, we've had, I think, 6 or 8 groups of guests, and it's all gone really well. And we're dog friendly. So
Wow.
you can
Very
bring your
cool.
pups too.
Well, it's a great neighborhood down there, and we certainly appreciate the local story here because that's what we're trying to do, lift up local Indianapolis businesses, and especially whenever they get some national notoriety, we certainly want to showcase that and kind of spur on other companies to get them to strive for more. So what would you give as a recommendation, because that was a threshold moment for you as you came across HGTV? What advice would you give to local companies that are struggling to get to that next level?
Oh, man. We're probably not the best example because we just kind of dive in head first and then think about the risk after, which probably isn't the best advice.
Actually,
But it works for us.
It actually is that, there's so many times that you're more of a shoot name later kind of thing, right?
We did it in a somewhat calculated way.
Right.
When we started, we had no debt, partially because no one would loan us money. But when the market was crap in 2007 and 2008, it didn't hurt us. We didn't bottom out like anyone else because we hadn't overextended ourselves. So we took these really big risks, but in a way that really the only thing would happen is we'd both eat ramen for a while if we really messed up. So, take the risks and try to grow, and it's worked out well for us so far.
There it is. Take the risk, guys. So we can find 2 Chicks and a Hammer on Twitter at 2 Chicks Indy, Facebook HGTV's Good Bones, Instagram 2 Chicks and a Hammer, website is 2chicksandahammer.com. Get the season 1 on iTunes and Amazon.
You can stream it live from the HGTV website now. They just put it up, so you can watch all the episodes there for free.
For free, and season 2 of Good Bones premieres May 30th on HGTV.
10 p.m. So everyone watch, tell your friends. You all have to watch, and then we'll get to season 3 and we can come back.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Mina, for being part of the show.
Thank you,
and your
guys.
fans. You've had a constant stream of around 30 watchers for this entire segment. You
All
got
right,
some
I'll
loyal
take
fans
it.
out there. Absolutely. Check out everything at 2 Chicks and a Hammer and lift up local businesses, and take some inspiration from what they're doing, So with that, we do want to still shame Karen. Well, I have no idea why she didn't come on the show, but there's that, right?
We'll bring her back. If you guys have us again, we'll make sure she's here.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, we're going to dive into Indy Indians player Gift Ngoepe. He's a fantastic ball player, and you've got to check out this bit of video. Check this out.
Growing up in South Africa was It was fun. The household that I grew up in, it was a fun household. I was brought up in the village at a young age, and then I moved to my mom, where she was, living in the urban areas. I started playing. I was throwing a ball against the wall. There was people practicing. I've seen them a couple times already, and I was interested in this game that they were just playing. Just a round bat and a ball, and they had this glove that they put on, and I was intrigued by it. The coach yelled at me, and he was like, "Come on over," and that's how I started. Growing up in South Africa and playing ball and having that dream to come over here to the States and pursuing a dream to become a Major League Baseball player, and then now knowing that no one has reached the Major Leagues from South Africa, it gives you a bit more encouragement, and, your why becomes bigger. The reason for you to get up in the morning and come to the ballpark and, play the game that you love with all your heart, and, pursuing the dream, not only become the Major League ball player, but, becoming the first African baseball player to ever play in the major leagues is the biggest goal that I could imagine in my life.
We talked to him in spring training about the responsibility of leading a nation, and a ground single into center field for Gift Ngoepe.
You have to check his heart rate again.
Gift Ngoepe's first at bat in the major leagues. The man from South Africa singles to center, and that ball will be tossed out. It might go to Ngoepe. It might end up in Cooperstown.
Okay, welcome back to The Edge. Thanks for staying along. Hey, I want you to meet Charlie Henry. He is the Director of Communications for the Indianapolis Indians. Thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, Aaron.
You are more than welcome. I brought along a few other helpers here to help
helpers,
the show.
Yes, we're helpers. We're elves. We're baseball elves. Yeah.
So we have got Tom Broadbeck, who is the Director of Digital Media, and we have Nate Torvik, the smart ass to my left.
Yes,
and
that's actually on my card.
Yeah,
absolutely. Is.
Smart ass to the left with an arrow. Yeah.
These gentlemen are actually going to help me out because I am sports underprivileged. What do you want to say? Sports handicapped.
I said sports. I said sports averse. So
sports averse.
And Victory Field has a little something for everyone. So
fantastic.
Yeah, we do.
You need to help me out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nate's a huge fan of baseball. Tom is a huge fan of baseball.
Absolutely. Okay.
So
was that a play on Tom's height?
Absolutely.
And I don't know.
Yes.
You call me fat?
No,
that was a fat joke.
No, it was. It was a height joke.
Oh,
Charlie's really tall.
I'm really tall.
He's really
I'm
tall.
going to refer back to my original introduction.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right?
Where's
I don't know
going?
why you
Smart ass on my
emphasized
left.
This is going
huge.
off the rails right away, guys.
That's what I do. That's how I roll.
So tell us about what you do over at the Indianapolis
Yeah.
Indians.
So as Director of Communications, I'm really responsible for providing some strategic direction of how we communicate out in the community and across our different channels. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. And I oversee our baseball communication staff, our community relations staff, and our telecast and production unit as well.
You're very busy.
It is very busy, especially now. We're in the throes of the season.
Yep.
We've been going for about a month and a half now.
There was a pun there. I caught it.
In the throes of the season.
Throes?
It's not the same
It's
throes.
spelled different.
but
It's spelled differently. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, but we are. The team's in Columbus this week.
Okay.
We're back home this weekend. Have a few more days on the road, and then back home the whole week after Memorial Day. So it's just sort of a constant drumbeat of activity.
Oh, fantastic. And if you haven't been to Victory Field, it is beautiful, and watching the game there is just fantastic. Yes, I have.
Yeah, you have. and one thing I think is so cool. It's 21 years old. It is. Like what
Right.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
So
the Braves Stadium was it even 20 years before they
tore it down.
So yeah, Victor Field looks great, and it's 21 years old.
That's something I hear from so many of our fans. I've only lived in Indy since 2010, and all I've known is Victory Field.
Right.
And so many of our fans feel like it was just yesterday when it just popped up in White River State Park.
I know.
And honestly, you walk in those gates and you still have that feeling because our facility staff does such a great job of keeping it in impeccable shape.
Yeah, it is
So you
immaculate.
notice it, yeah.
I've also had the distinct pleasure of taking the Cub Scouts out regularly to go sleep on the mounds, the berm out there, and watch a neat movie out on the field. And I've done that for a number of years, and it's always fantastic. And just the staff is always hospitable to the Scouts. It's fantastic. Kudos to them.
We have our Scouts night again this Friday. Actually, Friday is going to be a really busy night at Victory Field. We have a double header starting at 5:30.
Whoa! Wow!
Post game fireworks after the second game. Then Scouts night.
Wow.
They're showing Zootopia. Sleep on the field.
Yep.
It's going to be a late night.
I'm
You're
thinking
not going to get done playing until midnight,
It's going
probably,
to be
or
a
close
late
to
night.
it.
But a total blast, unique experience for those kids and those parents that are along for the ride too.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna tee this up to you. See, there I go again. See,
If we're like
if you're playing
little
T-ball,
if you're playing T-ball for little kids,
that's fine.
I'm struggling, Nate.
I know. You're grasping at straws, or grasping at, I don't know.
Keep on going.
Baseballs. So tell us a little bit about how the season's going. We were talking about it a little bit before. How's the season going? You guys have lost a lot of prospects the last couple of years with Polanco and Marte, Glasnow, Tyon. We'll get into my fantasy baseball problem here later.
Yeah, as you alluded to, I mean, Pittsburgh, we're the AAA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates Major League team. Pittsburgh is an organization that really relies on its farm system, and we're fortunate that we have a lot of the game's top prospects that come through Indianapolis. Just this year alone, we've already had 9 guys get called up. Last year, we had 10 or 11 throughout the whole year, so 9 for the first month and a half. That is a very brisk pace. A lot of that has to do with injuries and things at the major league level, but for a few of our guys, they're simply being rewarded on the merit of their performance. We have the league leader in home runs in the International League, Max Moroff, and one of the top hitters in the league as well, Christopher Bostic. So they both have been to Pittsburgh and back.
Were those guys on your fantasy list?
No.
They're not up to the major league level yet, but they will be.
You
They'll
know
be
how
calling
fantasy
soon.
baseball works?
No idea.
Okay. Minor leagues, just for your clarification, minor league stats do not count. Okay.
Got to draw attention to my ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
So we do. We've had a constant flow of guys to Pittsburgh and back.
I'm sure, and especially with people talk about big cities versus the smaller cities. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and Milwaukee and teams like that who have to work a little bit harder.
Sure,
I just listed Midwest teams, but coaching's got to be a little bit better. There's a different way that you guys have to go about doing things.
Pittsburgh isn't going to. They're not going to go out and sign a big name free agent as easily as somebody else will, as another organization.
Just say the Yankees. Just
another organization to be named.
Yeah.
And so that certainly creates an opportunity for Indianapolis. It creates an opportunity for our organization to feature these guys in a way that they will likely be featured in Pittsburgh.
Right.
We have the top prospect in the Pittsburgh organization right now, Austin Meadows. He's only 21 years old, really good kid, but he is a kid still. Right. He really should be a junior in college, right? You look at him, you don't think that. He looks like he's going on 28, 29 just because of his build. Physically, he looks the part of a professional baseball player. But just in the short amount of time that we've had him this season, end of last season as well, you could tell he's really maturing in front of the microphone, in front of media, or in front of community groups that he might be speaking to. And it's that type of experience that I think is going to prove really valuable for him and players like him when they make it to Pittsburgh in the major league level.
Yeah, that's always really good to see, especially when you get some of the major league players who don't know how to handle the limelight a lot. And they get into trouble. They get 3 games. Matt Harvey just got a 3-game suspension from the Mets. For whatever, but
happens to a lot of us.
So that stuff's great to hear. Well, tell us a little bit more about you and kind of your career path, and maybe swing in that Sports Illustrated issue.
Sure. Yeah, it's been an interesting path to this point. It has. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll touch on that.
Yeah.
So I'm a Purdue University grad, Indiana guy. I'm
Attaboy.
originally from Michigan City, 219 area code in Northwest Indiana.
It's okay, Charlie. I still like it.
Oh. Purdue grad.
Yeah.
Finished up there. Had a few really good internship experiences as I finished school. Just met with a student yesterday, and I was kind of stressing the importance of internships to her, specifically in sports. It's such a competitive field to get into. I worked in community relations for the Indiana Pacers, and then in communications for Indiana Sports Corporation as well. Those were two great experiences for me. My first full-time job was actually with an engineering firm called American Structure Point. Was really an introduction to the professional and corporate world to me in a way that I had never been introduced to it before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended up working for about 5.5 years at Borshoff, an advertising and PR agency, and then jumped
Right down
here.
the street.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, and then jumped here to the Indians. So you mentioned the Sports Illustrated cover.
I had to.
You had to
I
mention
couldn't let
that.
it go.
Certainly the highlight experience of my time at Sports Corporation was when Indianapolis hosted the 2010 Final Four. Obviously,
Right.
that was Butler's run to the Final Four the first time here in Indy. It was sort of a magical feeling for a lot of us that were involved in the event, certainly all the Butler faithful that are here in the city. I was fortunate to be a photo steward during that event, and when Gordon Hayward missed that last second shot, I was kind of right underneath that basket when that happened. Next week, getting the mail at my apartment mailbox, throw the mail down on the kitchen counter or whatever, and I look down and I'm there on the cover, out of focus, right underneath John Shire's butt. As Duke is celebrating the win, it was an interesting moment, interesting credential to have.
Hey, man.
Yes,
There could. I was almost gonna say there could be worse places to be, but I
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think
was,
that's
that was
actually.
interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Now you have that frame somewhere, right?
I do actually. My wife had it framed for me. I think it was a reminder of where I'm supposed to
Supposed
sit
to be
in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slightly blurry.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, as the director of communications, what kind
Yep.
of marketing efforts do you guys regularly pursue to get people out to the stadium?
Sure. And so I'm glad you asked that, because when I mentioned earlier that we do have something for everyone at Victory Field, we truly do. And we kind of think of our audience in three different ways. Certainly we have something for those diehard baseball fans, right? That are going to come out to see the game's top prospects or just come out to catch a game. They like being around the game. We also think about those young professionals. Indianapolis is fortunate, specifically with the downtown core, of a lot of young people that are living downtown and are always looking for something to do. A game at Victory Field is sorry. Is everything okay next door?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. I don't really know.
Yeah, a game at Victory Field is certainly one of the best options in the middle of summer or spring, as we're in right now. So we're thinking about them when we're marketing, and then also just thinking about the young families who kind of look for different opportunities to bring their kids out to. If it's Scouts Night, if it's a superhero night, or we're having Daniel Tiger later in the year, things like that. So we're thinking about different ways to touch those different categories of people.
So you have superhero night, I hear.
We do. We do.
They've got a couple. That's,
Is somebody at this table a really big superhero fan?
Absolutely. In fact, I think you also
Let me tell you something here real quick, Charlie.
Okay. So
I think you actually had a Batman night, if I'm not mistaken.
we do in August. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's
Company
your guy.
trip, company outing.
Company
Batman.
excursion.
It's
Absolutely.
Batman and Robin.
Eh,
Just the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
just a
No,
dark
we'll
night.
have the team in special jerseys, special Batman jerseys. Fans.
I'll double down. I'll bring my team too, and they'll all be in Batman jerseys as well.
Oh,
Maybe we could swing something and we could all wear Batman, like legit jerseys.
no
Sweet.
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. That'd be
Let's
awesome.
do something like that.
We'd love to do that. That'd
be great.
So what? I mean, you've isolated a lot of these different demographics, these different user personas as we talk about it, and there's certainly a lot of different amenities that the field provides, right?
Yep.
What new channels of communication are you using to be able to connect? Because you just went through kind of a stratification of a lot of different places where the demographics are, and they have different kind of consumption of marketing.
Yeah.
So what different channels are you using?
So we're featured across what you would think of for social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and each of those have a slightly different voice depending on our audience. Our Facebook audience, we might be a little bit more geared towards the families, the young families there. Twitter audience certainly leans a little harder towards baseball, especially in-game. A lot of in-game.
Oh, yeah. I was catching that. We went out, I think, last year to a full company outage, going out to the – and then just the chatter that you had in there.
Yeah, this year for the first time, we're featuring video highlights in-game as well. That's sort of a byproduct of our new HD video board and the new technology in the control room that's really allowed us to do some really cool things we haven't done before, like in-game video highlights on social media.
Yeah.
And then our Instagram audience, we're probably a little bit more focused on the young professional there. So that's how we've kind of segmented it across social. Yeah.
But you're talking about the new video board. And as an avid baseball fan myself, I'm okay going to a game and just being outside and sitting there and watching baseball for a couple hours, right? And hanging out, having a beer or some water or whatever else other people drink at baseball game.
Beer.
Some peanuts, having a hot dog, like enjoying just being at a baseball game and being outside.
Yep.
It's that switch has turned drastically there, especially when you get into the younger audiences that you're talking about. It's constant trying to keep up with the communication. You got to constantly keep them moving through the system, and in between innings you got to have something going on all the time. And that's why they've done the pitch clock, and that's why we're doing replays and stuff now. And so what has the stadium, including the new video board and stuff like that, what is the stadium and what are you guys trying to do to kind of capture that new age feel for baseball, that trying to get those younger audiences involved and include them and all that stuff?
So what Nate was talking about with our facility upgrades, we have a new HD video board in right field. It's 3 times bigger than the previous version.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's stunning when you walk in, especially if you're familiar with the old version.
Sure.
The old board.
I like the old board.
That's
but,
right.
Again, me versus somebody else.
We have also digital ribbon boards that kind of line the upper deck. Really gives a professional feel, like something you'd see at Lucas Oil Stadium or Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And then we also have a totally new digital audio system where you can actually hear the audio in the park from anywhere in the park. That wasn't always the case with the old system. That was standard in 1996. Hadn't been touched really since the upgrade this year.
Wow.
So it's a totally new experience there in the park. Free Wi-Fi for all of our fans. As kind of Nate was referring to, many of us are on our phones when we're at the game.
Right.
And then I would just say we're always looking for ways to engage people, whether it's in park with games in between innings, and certainly on social too. We have tweet your seat opportunities. I know we just did it for IMAX tickets for Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go.
Showing at IMAX.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
Yep. So we're always looking for ways to sort of engage people, whether it's in park or on social.
So tell us about some of the other comic book character nights that you guys have coming up. I know there's a Thor out there.
Thor's coming up. The next one is Superman and Wonder Woman. That's Saturday, June 1st. And then, Saturday, June 3rd. And then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right after that.
Okay, is it New Age Turtles or
it's
are we
the
going to
New
go
Age
classic?
Turtles?
All right, well,
apparently they have
grungier ones.
I know. Well, apparently they don't say Cowabunga anymore.
Really?
What? I know. They say Booyakasha.
What does that mean?
No one at this table knows what that means.
That's not even. I mean,
it's New Turtles, I guess.
I was gonna say we used to say. Never mind. But
yeah. So that's June 10th to the 11th, and you guys alluded to Batman and Robin later in the year. Thor's coming up. We have a Star Wars night coming up. That's July 15th. So
don't sell that short.
Star Wars night.
You know how many baseball games he's gonna go to? He's gonna
You're lining it up.
Well, there is a superhero ticket package where you can get tickets to each of the superhero games.
Oh my!
Yeah, Indianians.com or call the box office for that.
I'm just throwing that one out there.
What did you do to me, man?
I don't know. He's gonna go to more. He's gonna go to more baseball games this season than he has in his entire life combined. Probably now.
So what happens on superhero night? Do they wear the special uniforms? You said.
Yeah. So we'll have a themed jersey that the players will wear, and then those jerseys will actually be auctioned off in game, and all the proceeds go to a different charity.
Cool.
So when we had it for Guardians of the Galaxy, the charity was Community Health Foundation, and they were raising money for a new product called NICView, and it basically was a piece of technology that allowed parents that had children, babies, in the NICU. It allowed them to always be able to watch them, so they didn't have to be right there by their bedside. Total game changer for those parents. And so we're through those superhero nights, we're looking to kind of create meaningful partnerships like that because they are some of our most popular nights. Those in-game auctions, auctioning off those game-worn jerseys, that's a really cool opportunity for people to kind of have a piece of the night and a piece of the Indians. So it's a good opportunity for those nonprofits too. So, yeah,
fantastic.
So the last thing that, or one of the later things here. So tell me about the craft beer nights. So I like craft beer.
Okay.
You like craft beer.
Yep. Love it.
Tom likes Diet Coke.
Okay.
No, I don't. Not Diet Coke.
Regular
Not
Coke.
I
Sorry,
do
he doesn't
craft
like
water.
Diet Coke. Craft water.
water.
Yeah. Fiji.
That'd be Fiji.
You know, he's got
Voss.
a spring in his yard.
Voss
Yes,
water.
Voss.
Yes.
So this is something that would be, especially with the indie craft beer scene, right?
Yes.
This is something that should be appealing to a larger and larger audience, and especially when we're talking about the younger audiences, right?
Totally.
So, tell us a little bit about the craft beer nights. So is it every Thursday? Is it? Tell us a little bit about
every
that.
Thursday night. We just had our first one last Thursday, and basically on Thursday nights, Sun King, who's our official craft beer partner, will always be there tapping a different seasonal brew. So they always have Indians Lager at the park. They always have Wee Mac. But when they come out for Thursday craft beer night, they'll have something else as well. So they'll have two.
How many beards are in the audience at that point in time?
The beard.
The beard ratio.
total
What is the beard to beer ratio?
The beard to beard ratio really increases vastly, specifically around center field where the sampling takes place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outside of Sun King, they actually bring two other brewers from around the state with them. So the next craft beer night is June 1st. They're bringing Round Town out of no, Round Town was last week. They're bringing a brewery out of Kokomo with them, and then Indiana City Brewery, which is locally here. The Kokomo Brewery's Half Moon Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's got to
this
get
coming week.
Gang from Cooperstown to come down for a night, man. That would be awesome.
I know Three Floyds is coming later this year.
Nice.
A lot of fans of Three Floyds up in Munster.
Absolutely.
St. Joseph Brewery, which I think is nearby here, just a couple blocks away. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
So
feeling,
yeah,
I'm
that's
feeling the
Thursday
love
craft
here.
beer nights.
You're feeling
There's a
baseball?
really
You
cool.
like
we
baseball.
got superheroes. We got Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and craft beer. I am now officially a baseball fan.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
It took this type of intervention to make it happen.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Before we got into your segment, we did a video of Gift in Ngoepe.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about his story. How cool has it been to watch him come up through, especially a system like ours, right? That in Indianapolis and Pittsburgh, in a smaller system like that and stuff like that, and his background and his story.
Gift's story is really unique. He's a guy who's born in South Africa and was just called up to Pittsburgh just within the last 2-3 weeks, and he became the first African-born player to ever make it to the major leagues. Big story over there, and it's been a big story here for us and across baseball. The New York Times had a really wonderful write-up about him earlier this month. Shared to our Facebook page for anyone that wants to go check that out. But Gift, he was introduced to the game through his mom. His dad split early on their family, so his mom raised him and his brothers, and one way she did that was working in a baseball clubhouse in Africa, South Africa. That's how he was introduced to the game, and he got really, really good at it, specifically defensively. The grass and the dirt there isn't quite the same as it is here, and it trained his hands and his footwork in a way that really allowed him to excel, and he's kind of used that over the last 8-9 years in the minor leagues to finally get his chance now. And you guys played that video over the break. That's on our social media channels as well. His story is one that we're all kind of rooting for him to not come back to Indy, to make it in Pittsburgh
and
just
to
stay.
Stick.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things, and I'm sure that he's had a ride since getting up there,
totally
being the first person from Africa to make it to the majors and all that other stuff. So what was that like? So what was that like when he got the call? Were you around? Were you able to talk to him, or do you interact with the players when you guys do that?
I wasn't with him when he got the call. I understand that it happened on a road trip, and he was on the bus, and it's something that I think it's something that he had really looked forward to. I had heard him talk in the past about how one day there could be a movie made about his life if he can make it
if he can
succeed. And I can't imagine the weight of kind of those expectations of if you know there's sort of a whole country and a whole continent pulling for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you also probably selfishly in the back of your mind, you're also feeling like, man, these great things could happen. This could mean so much for my life. So you have that pressure on top of it. And he's managed it really well. He's doing pretty well. The wrap on Gift is that defensively he's a stud. It's just a matter of will his back come around. And in the spring he hit over 400.
Right.
He was
okay.
more than serviceable
for anybody who
right?
knows what baseball is.
It's outstanding.
Better than like 260 is pretty decent.
Yeah, and he was serviceable here, and he's serviceable right now there. So if he can continue that, he's going to be fine.
And when he got that first hit in the video, you can just see that weight just go off his shoulders when he hugged the first base coach, and you can just definitely tell that was important to him.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking to continue telling those stories. We have a guy named Dovydas Neverauskas. He's Lithuanian.
Say that again?
now?
Yeah, Dovydas Neverauskas. He's Lithuanian. He actually was called up 2 or 3 days before Gift, and was actually the first player from Lithuania to ever play in the major leagues as well.
Wow.
A little different story. Lithuania's a little smaller than the whole continent of
Right,
Africa,
the
but
entire
still,
continent, sure. No, that's still a great story.
It's
though.
still a great story. So he's back with us in Indy, and I think he'll make his way back to Pittsburgh eventually. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. Yeah, we have a few guys who have interesting stories to tell, and so it's exciting to get.
Yeah, are there any other favorite stories you have from past seasons?
I would say the one that sticks out from this year is a guy named Josh Lindblom. Josh is actually a Purdue grad.
Yep.
And was new
okay.
to.
I went to Purdue. He's just being.
I know. Come on, Aaron.
I'm getting surrounded here.
Yeah. No, Josh is he's a wonderful story. He has major league experience with the Dodgers and A's, and actually spent the last 2 years playing in Korea. Was just looking for a little more playing time,
right.
And has a beautiful young family. They actually just had a third child, baby Monroe, a little girl. Turns out she was born with a heart defect. They found out about that while the family was in Korea before the baby was born. So while he was finishing his year last year, his family came home to Indiana, and they actually came to Indy to see doctors at Riley for baby Monroe. And she was born. She's born fine, and she's fine considering right now, a few months old. But Josh has been very open, telling his story. That being in Indy has been a blessing for him and his family, and Monroe specifically. He's gotten called up to Pittsburgh since. He's back in the bigs. That's always been his goal, is to get back to the bigs. But this has been a blessing for him and his family to be in Indy, so that Monroe and his family could be close to those doctors. Mm-hmm. So that's been a story that we've been telling the first month of the year or so. Josh is a really cool guy. He's also a great talker. I think you guys would love to sit down and talk with him if he finds his way back in Indy.
Hey, we'd be up for that. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I got a question for you. You have a new partnership with the Children's Museum.
We do.
So what's in store with that in 2018?
Sure. So you guys might have heard the Children's Museum is creating their Sports Legends experience, right? And I mean, pretty much any sport under the sun is going to be featured in that thing. It's going to be really exciting. My family, we're members. I'm so excited to take my kids to this. They're going to have a baseball component to it. We're going to have a display with Rowdy and some players. It's basically sort of a large picture display, a photo op for fans. And then it'll have some interactive elements too. And just some learning about kind of the history of the Indians, the Indians organization in Indianapolis. One thing that was really cool when I started with the Indians, just learning that the Indians organization is the oldest sports franchise in the city. Mm-hmm. We've been around since 1902. So it's not even close. And I think that just speaks to the age of baseball, right?
Well, and even if you go, I've been in some of the suites up there and stuff like that, and some of the stuff that's hanging on the walls and some of the bats that they have hanging. I mean, it's just an awesome history of other franchises and other players and some great stuff.
So through our partnership with the Children's Museum, we'll look for ways to kind of talk about that history of our organization and why it's significant in our city, why it's significant to us. Mm-hmm. And if we could create a few more fans of baseball and a few more kids that want to play baseball, even better. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you certainly are a touchstone on culture in Indianapolis. Sure. And I mean, that goes to the point is that the club's been around that long, and you're certainly plugging in more than ever before. And your role has exploded in responsibilities to be able to connect and activate in all these different demographics and really lift not only the awareness of the games and the awareness of the players.
Sure.
But you're part of the social
something
fabric.
more. Yeah. And I think specifically stepping into this role, that's something that I think about a lot is how do we operate outside of our silo at the corner of West and Maryland?
Right.
How do we connect with people? How do we bring the baseball experience to Indianapolis rather than expecting people to come in through our gates? We're very fortunate. Last year we had 650,000 fans come through our gates.
Over the course of the season.
So, that's incredible.
Awesome.
That's more than the Pacers and the Colts.
Absolutely.
And consistently, over the last 4 years, we've either set a franchise record for attendance or we've led all of minor league baseball in attendance. So we've been very fortunate at the gate. I think that speaks to people's what people think about our experience at Victory Field. But I think that also speaks to the opportunity we have outside of our walls too. So that's something that we're really thinking a lot about specifically this year and moving forward is how can we impact the community in such a way that's true to us. It's true to who we are as a baseball organization, but also benefits our community. And that's something we take very seriously. The Schumacher family has owned the Indians for a long time, and they take that community impact very seriously. So I think it's going to always be important to us, but I think ever more so as we continue to grow and succeed.
Kudos to you. I mean, and you're leading the way with these type of anchor points inside of the city. So fantastic. Watch what the Indians are doing. You can certainly follow on social media. It's on Twitter. It's at Indy Indians. Facebook, just search for Indianapolis Indians. Instagram, Indy Indians, and the website Indy Indians. And you can certainly get all of your tickets at Indy Indians. It's almost like hey, you grab that domain and just ran with it.
Run with it. Absolutely.
And on top of that, be aware of Thursday craft beer night ticket package. $20 gets you 2 craft beers plus a lawn ticket.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
A craft beer in Victory Field is $8.50. So you're
just do the math.
Getting a good getting a good deal on your seat.
Yeah.
If you have a beer, it's even better.
Right. Yeah. Or you're getting
you get a discount if you have a beer.
Yeah.
No, but you'll fit in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just about inclusion.
Yeah.
So check it out over at indyindians.com/craft beer or call the Victory Field box office at 317-269-3545. So any final words, Charlie, on talking about your role at Indianapolis Indians? That was very well said, but what does the Indianapolis Indians want the Indianapolis public to know?
I would say that we are home consistently throughout the summer. When April rolls around, beginning of April to early September, you can count on Indians baseball. We have 71 home games a year. Cool. So I would say, we're there at the corner of West and Maryland, Victory Field. We're home all weekend. And then kind of that week after Memorial Day, we'll be home all week. So IndyIndians.com, just as you said it.
Fantastic. So come home to Indy Indians. And if you haven't been there, and I'll own this, I haven't been there recently. Absolutely. I mean, there's a whole mess of things that they're doing for the city. So check that out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We really did have a great show today. And thanks for everybody who contributed. Thanks to Mina from Two Chicks and a Hammer. And thank you, Karen, for not even being here. What's up with that?
He's still upset about it,
bitter.
Karen.
And be sure to check out Indianapolis Indians. Go to a game, go get a couple craft beers and have a lawn seat. It'd be fantastic. So thanks to everybody here putting on a great show. Be sure to shop local, go local, find out what's happening here in Indianapolis. Go to baseball games and support our city. So thanks from everybody over here at Edge Media Studios. And be sure to tune in next week at 3 p.m. as we're going to go. I think we got a racing theme coming up here. And actually, we're going to be changing to Tuesday at 3 p.m. next week. So make sure you dial in and check out everything over at Edge of the Web or edgeofindy.com. All right, that's it for us over Edge of Indy. And remember, choose local. Take care. Bye-bye.